Hi everyone, and welcome to the Flipping Central YouTube channel. I'm Yams, and today we're going to be doing something that hasn't really been seen on this channel yet. I have 3 Gamdias brand AIOs here, and I'm going to be testing them to see how good they are, and if they are worth it to buy. I'm going to be comparing each of them against each other, as well as see how good they perform against a direct competitor like the NZXT Kraken x53. Big thanks to Gamdias for sending these coolers over, and let's get into the video. So, I got these 3 Gamdias AIOs, the Chione M2, Chione P2, and Chione M3. Don't know if I'm pronouncing those entirely correctly, but it's cool. The Chione M2 and P2 are supposed to be the same AIO, but in 240mm and 360mm variations respectively. The Chione M3 is a 240mm supposedly improved version of the M2. All of them have pretty cool infinity mirror designs, with the Chione M3 having a little bit of a shinier and more full design to the pump, if that makes sense. We'll look at the packaging and first impressions of all the AIOs first, and then do temperature testing second. Let's look at the Chione M2 first. The packaging is pretty standard and is what you would expect from any normal AIO. In the box is the water cooler itself with the 2 fans, as well as the fan controller and all necessary mounting hardware. It comes with AIOless M2 fans to use. My main big gripe is that these fans and the AIO itself has proprietary connections. The AIO is literally rendered useless unless you have the Gamdias brand controller and a remote, which is always such a headache to keep track of. I really wish that it had normal ARGB and fan connections. Even though it would mean more wires, it would offer better compatibility and ease of use. Next up is the Chione P2. I won't dwell on this for too long because it's the exact same thing as the M2, but just a little longer, and it includes an extra fan of course. Nothing new here. And finally, the Chione M3. I was very excited for this one because, first of all, it looks really clean, but also it's supposed to be a step up from the previous M2, with better thermals and longevity, etc., at least from what I've heard. Upon opening it, it has basically the same packaging as the Chione M2 and P2, but right off the bat I can spot a major difference that already makes this AIO better than the others. No proprietary connectors. This AIO uses standard ARGB connectors and fan connectors, which is huge. Not only that, but it also includes a fan splitter and an ARGB hub or button, I'm not sure what to call it. Basically, it allows people who don't have an ARGB header on their motherboards to still use the AIO in all of its lighting modes. This model also has different fans using the Chione M3 model fans. Other than these main differences and the difference about the looks of the pump that I mentioned earlier, everything else seems pretty much the same. All 3 AIOs use the exact same mounting hardware, which I found to be actually super simple and super easy to install. I was very impressed. Now though, let's see how they perform. These AIOs were put up against an NZXT Kraken x53 240mm water cooler, which is a direct competitor to the Gamdias AIOs, seeing as it has the same type of infinity mirror effect that the Gamdias AIOs market. The Gamdias AIOs are usually cheaper than this NZXT counterpart, with the x53 being $120 at the time of writing. The Chione M2 is priced at $85, the P2 at $130, and the M3 at $105. The CPU that I'm using for this cooler testing and will be using in the future is the AMD Ryzen 5 1600. It's a decent mid-range CPU that most people are familiar with. It uses a decent amount of power and provides a good baseline to record temperatures with. The thermal paste of choice that I used was the Arctic MX2. A good performer and good baseline, nothing too special. I'll display some bar graphs on the screen so that you can see the differences in not only temperatures but also noise between these 4 AIOs. So, my testing shows that all the Gamdias AIOs outperform the Kraken x53, which is pleasantly surprising, especially considering that they are all cheaper minus the Chione P2. The Chione M3 was the clear winner in temperatures, which is roughly 9 to 10% cooler than the Kraken and Chione M2. The Chione P2 was a pretty good performer as well, it was somewhere in the middle. The main downside to the Gamdias AIO is their noise levels. The Kraken x53 definitely outperformed them in noise levels by a noticeable margin. In order to battle this, it is possible to adjust the fan speed on the Chione M2 and P2 with the included remote, a feature which is nice to see. I did not do any formal testing with lower fan speeds to see temperature difference, but I only noticed a slight increase in temperature and a decrease in noise level. So all in all, are these new Gamdias AIOs a good buy? If you're looking for a super clean water cooler for your next build, but don't want to spend the money for an infinity mirror effect such as the Kraken's, my answer is a yes. These AIOs offer good value for money compared to the competition and deliver good temperatures as well. The difference in noise was barely noticeable in my opinion, and will easily get suppressed with the headphones on. I will link these AIOs in the description if you want to check them out, and while you're there, why not also click the links to join our Discord, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and check out our website. Also, please like, subscribe, and comment if you liked our video, it helps us out a lot. Once again, this was Yams, and see you in the next video.